Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Have another Transformers Power of the Primes review for you. This is Legends Class Windcharger. This is not the first Legends Class Windcharger figure we've gotten. We had one back in Combiner Wars, although that was kind of a repaint of an existing mold back from... I don't even remember exactly what toy line. It was kind of its own toy line. I think it was part of Generations, but they used to have a line where they would do a little Legends Class figure with kind of a little mini-con that had a robot mode, a vehicle mode, and like a gun mode. It was kind of a fun little line, but there was a mold from that they repainted as Windcharger as part of Combiner Wars. Plus we had a Scout class, although that Scout class doesn't really exist anymore. We had a Scout class Windcharger back in Reveal the Shield, so we're not a stranger to Windcharger molds, but I do believe this is a new mold, and it does have the ability to have a Titan Master / Prime Master ride inside. Plus, at this point, they're actually doing all the mini-bots in the same scale, and I really appreciate that, so I'm on board to grab this guy, even though I do already have, you know, a couple Windcharger figures. I'm happy to have this new mold that really looks like Windcharger and is in the same scale as all the other mini-bots. Plus, I love the fact that you can have someone ride inside, so totally on board for this. I was a little on the fence at first, but then when I saw him in person, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta have this. So taking a look at the back, Autobot Warrior wields electromagnetic power. So there you go. Looks pretty good here. I like that. Artwork again, very nice. Packaging very reminiscent of Combiner Wars and Titan Returns before it. So not anything too different as far as the packaging goes. But let's go ahead, get him out, and take a closer look. Alright, so here is Windcharger out of the packaging. Real quick, we'll take a look at the little collector's card that he comes with. Really nice artwork there. Again, it has the symbol in the corner. Amalgamous Windcharger becomes massive objects with huge gravitational pull. Okay. Not really sure what any of these mean, but they are what they are. Again, nice solid cardboard. Put that off to the side and move on to the figure here. Really cool. I actually like this guy a lot more than I expected to. He does kind of have a large piece of card kibble on his back. But it keeps them together, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment when we get to the transformation. The head sculpt is pretty good. I think they did a pretty good job on that. He's making kind of a sour face, which kind of makes me laugh. But it's all good. The only thing that bothers me is I kind of wish this lighter gray was more of like a darker gunmetal gray, because I feel like that more closely resembles his color scheme from the show. But I'm guessing because they used the darker red, which is also correct, they probably didn't want to do like two super dark colors next to each other, so they wanted to lighten them up a little bit with this lighter gray, which I can understand. And it doesn't bother me all that much. It's just personal preference, but it doesn't really hinder the figure for me at all. Head can swivel side to side. You have an up and down joint right here in the shoulder. So you have that up and down, and then you have a ball joint where the gray piece meets the red arm. You got a ball joint there. Ball joint in the elbow, ball joint in the hip, and then pretty much 90 degrees, maybe even a little bit more in the knee, but that's because of the transformation. In the back here, you have part of the windshield becoming heels for him, but he stands pretty well. I don't really have too many problems getting him to stand, so that's very good. Nice Autobot symbol painted there on the chest. The couple paint apps that he does have in the crotch and the chest, and the car and the Autobot symbol all look very nice and sharp. So yeah, I like this guy a lot. I think the robot mode's fun. It has all the articulation points you could need. I mean, actually maybe a thigh swivel. I wouldn't mind a thigh swivel. That's pretty much the only thing I can think of. I don't really miss a bicep swivel because you have the ball joint in the elbow. But I guess I could use a thigh swivel. It doesn't, you know, hinder anything. It's not a huge problem. If I was just, you know, pie in the sky wish list, I would ask for a thigh swivel. But again, I still think the figure's fantastic, doesn't take anything away from me. I love it. So yeah, we'll get into the transformation. So the transformation is pretty simple, but I actually really like it a lot. You're going to start by pulling this away from the body. And when I said before that it kind of keeps them together, there's this really large peg here where my thumb is. And that pegs into this spot right here, and that's kind of what keeps his entire chest together. And it makes him feel really solid in robot mode, so I like that a lot. But you're going to unpeg that, And then there's a hinge you can see, you know, right here and here. So you're going to kind of rotate that up. Then there's another hinge right here. And what you need to do is kind of rotate this up and then rotate it back again. So it gives that a little bit of height. And then you just line up the arms here. And then you kind of slide these up. And it's a little weird to do, but you can just kind of slide it up into the body like this. And then you kind of push this top part down and snap that into place. And then you can see you have pretty much the whole front section of the car. Come over here, roll these back. And it's nice. You can see this tab here, and there's a little tab right there. So that when you naturally push this up, like the two tabs kind of, you know, sandwich next to each other, and that's what keeps it in place. So that's really nice. Then you're going to sandwich these together. Make sure you clip everything together all as one. And then you just roll this whole section to the front. And there you go. You have your little Windcharger car. I like it a lot. I really do. It seems really long, but I think it's fun. My only complaint in the robot mode is I would have liked the Autobot symbol to just be in the center and maybe a little larger. But I don't think that's a problem. If I might not be correct, but I think this is more reminiscent of how it was on the G1 toy. I think it was off-center on the G1 toy, so that might be why they did that. And again, it doesn't bother me. Just the OCD in me wants it to be in the center and a little bit larger, but I can cope, and I still think it looks really good. Still see the head. I guess you could technically turn the head around 180 degrees if you wanted to. The directions don't specify, but if that bothers you having a head underneath. But it rolls pretty well, and it's a fun little car. I like it a lot. Now you can dial it back one step and rotate this whole section out, and you can see that's where the Titan Master can sit. So I'll bring in the Titan Master. You have to make sure that the hands are out straight, and then you can fold them up. And it's very specific how he has to fit. Hold on. There we go. Once he's down in there, you can close this back up. Fits perfectly, and then you can kind of see the Titan Master or Prime Master once I get one inside. It's kind of faint because it's kind of dark windows. But yeah, I like this guy a lot. I really think this vehicle mode is a lot of fun, and I love the fact that the Titan or Prime Master can ride inside. Very, very excellent. So this little guy is a lot of fun, and I definitely enjoy him a lot more than I thought I was going to. If you're in the same kind of camp of thinking that I was originally, where, oh, I already have enough Windcharger figures, I have the Reveal the Shield Scout class, or they tricked me into buying that repaint in Combiner Wars, I don't want another Windcharger. I understand that. I completely do, because like I said, that was my mindset going into this. I didn't think I needed another Windcharger. But I gotta say, this guy has definitely won me over. He's a lot of fun. He's a very tiny little guy. It's part of his charm, I think. He's not perfect, granted. If I had to make some changes, like I said, I would make that light gray a little darker. That's just personal preference. I would make the Autobot symbol on the hood a little bit larger and in the center. Again, just personal preference. And I would definitely add a thigh swivel. I think that's the only serious flaw that I can think of. The other things are just, you know, my personal preference, but he really could use a thigh swivel. I understand the leg section is not even that long, so that's probably why they couldn't put it in. Or maybe they just were afraid with the way it transforms. They didn't want to put that extra movement in and give problems with the transformation. I don't know. I'm not a toy engineer. I'm just guessing here, but that's the only thing I would add if I was actually making serious improvements. But I don't think it hinders this guy at all. I think he's still a ton of fun. He's super adorable, and there's no reason at the $9.99 price point you shouldn't try to pick him up and add him to your collection, regardless of what other Windcharger figures you have, because this guy is super fun. And to me, a large part of the appeal is having the Titan Master / Prime Master able to ride inside, and also having a common scale for all of the mini-bots now. I mean, if you started with that line I spoke about where the Legends class figures that came with the little like accessory mini-cons, because you got Gears in there, you got Swerve in there, and then since Combiner Wars, we've gotten Power Glide, Sea Spray, Bumblebee, Windcharger, Brawn, the list goes on. So it's nice having all of the mini-bots in a common scale. I really do appreciate that, and it's part of the enjoyment for me. So I think this guy definitely belongs in your collection. Find him, track him down. Power of the Prime should be starting to show up soon. Mostly at Targets is kind of where he's been spotted, but I'm sure before too long they'll be at Walmarts and Toys R Us and everywhere else. So Get out there, start hunting, find these guys. They're a lot of fun. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and share this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys have enjoyed this look at Legends Class Windcharger from Transformers Power of the Primes. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.